Jason, it is a spectacular night for softball. Game 2 of the Palmetto Series. Two teams separated by 130 miles, renewing their rivalry here at Clemson. Matchstick alongside former All-American and Big 12 Player of the Year, Aaron Miller. And Aaron, both of these teams right now, you think about where we're at in this season, an important midweek. 3 weeks away from conference tournament starting, less than a month away from Selection Sunday. No better time than the moment right now to go on a run, especially against your in-state rival.
A key midweek for both of these squads, and I look to offense for both of these teams. It has to emerge at this point in the season. And two kids that I'm looking for the starting nine, especially with South Carolina, it has to be Carly Shelton at the plate, a junior captain for the Gamecocks. She's been going to South Carolina camps since she was 9 years old, the workhorse in the 3-hole for this starting order. And on the other side of this diamond for Clemson, it is none other than Taylor Pipkins. You gotta go with the hottest bat in the order to highlight, and it has been Taylor, a home run in each of the last 5 games. She has the hottest, smoothest, and most powerful hand the right side of that batter's box.
Only had 1 home run on the season before those 5 games. The bottom of the order coming up big, and they'll look for more of that sweet swing from Pipkins tonight for the Clemson Tigers. Here's the South Carolina Gamecocks lineup, a lineup that hasn't produced a lot offensively. Coach Ashley Chastain-Wood really likes what Ari Rhodey has been delivering right now. They just need more Rhodey and for that to spread through the rest of the lineup.
She's been a stud in the 2-hole. I think that 1-2 punch of Quincy Lilio and Rhodey, it's pretty hard to beat. That's a tough 1 and 2 punch at the top of this order to face. And Manis in the circle has got her work cut out for her.
There, Manis in the circle tonight and facing Quincy Lilio with the first pitch strike. Manis was terrific last time out against South Carolina. It was a run rule, 6-inning, 8-0 win for Clemson. And that really started South Carolina's slide. They had just come off of that LSU series loss. And including that loss to Clemson, they've lost 10 of their last 12. What are we going to see from Sierra Manis?
She fields her position extremely well. You gotta love when you basically have that 5th infielder on the dirt, and that is Manis. She throws to all quadrants. She hammers balls early and often in the strike zone. She's not afraid to use her defense. I think that's what makes her such a threat.
The 1-2 to Lilio. Off speed, just misses, 2-2. Quincy Lilio, one of the many players looking to get back on track offensively. The team leader in hitting, but just 2 for 22 in her last 8 games. 3-2. Doesn't look like she offered. Should be ball 4, and it is. And that is something that'll delight Ashley Chastain-Wood. I talked to her before the game. She said, we're not getting extra base hits, and we're not walking enough. We just need to get on base. And there you go with your leadoff batter.
Yeah, that's a 32nd walk of the season for Lilio. Really sharp eye in the 1-2 hole of this starting 9. Rhodey also with 37 walks on the year.
Ariana Rhodey now at the plate. You mentioned it. Top 5 among active NCAA players in career walks. She's top 20 this year. Nearly a walk a game. Looking to get that bat going to third. Bro to second for 1. Flip to first. In time. Double play. Now you could see the motion from first base coach for South Carolina saying, she looks safe to me. Let's challenge this.
Again, Manis using the defense. Coming across the field is Sarah Bro, an easy toss to second.
Certainly looked like from this vantage point, Rhodey got there.
I was going to say, I would be hard-pressed to think that she wouldn't be safe at first. She stands there now. defense by Clemson all year. I know you and I had a chance to see this team just a few weeks ago. Chanel has been a stud at shortstop. Sarah Breaux has really held down the fort at third base. Especially when you have an arm like Sierra Manis in the circle that tests the defense, you got to be ready for this.
Plate umpire Robbie Guest among the many guests tonight. And a quick call, and it is safe.
I think that's the right call. Pretty definitive evidence there to get that changed.
And Jody Davidson, first base coach, had one of the best views in the house, and she has proven correct. So now 1 out, and the aforementioned Carly Shelton up at the plate. Hitting .354 on the season. Was one of the lone bright spots in their series sweep against Florida. Had a couple of hits, including a solo home run on Sunday in the series finale. And she's hit. So 2 base runners with 1 out here in the first inning for South Carolina.
A walk, a fielder's choice, and now a free bag by the hit by pitch. Just looking at the splits for Sierra Manis in the circle. Even hit by pitch numbers between lefties and righties, but the one that sticks out to me, Matt, is the walks. 13 walks for lefties. She's almost 3 times as many walks against righties. She struggles low in the zone.
She's been a different pitcher since we saw her last. Her last 3 outings, 11 innings pitched, 12 walks. 7 home runs given up, 18 earned runs. So we'll see if it's about the opposition or if it truly is Sierra Manis struggling, as we see Corey Hicks behind the dish. He's got hit by a foul ball. It's a round of applause. 0-2.
Bound to get beat up a little bit with the drop ball arm. Foul ball just like this. Those swing throughs, you come over the top of it, barely nicks it. Looks like it gets the top of her knee.
Must have got the padding.
Such a stud back there for Clemson. Was a transfer coming over from the University of Oklahoma. Been a big addition to this program. Handles the battery with such poise.
And now the very dangerous Jamie McKay at the plate for South Carolina. Fouls that one away. Still 0-2. Transfer from Ole Miss. Would like to forget her last game against Clemson. She went 0 for 3, but followed that up with 6 hits in her next 4 games. And she's been swinging a pretty good bat. Outside 1-2. Rhodey at second, Shelton at first. McKay back up the middle and through. Rhodey's going to round third. She's going to hold right there on the great throw from Brockenbrough, as that was cut off by the first baseman, Pavesi. But bases are loaded now for Tori Ensley.
It's a really good approach, especially with 2 strikes by McKay. When you're facing a drop ball arm, you're almost timing up contact and location, thinking opposite field or an off-speed pitch. You cannot be early and out front against somebody that is hammering the zone at your knees. Punches that one up the middle of the field.
Tori Ensley, this one to the gap, and it is off the wall. 1 run scores, 2 runs. Now we got a runner held up at second, and going back to first easily is Tori Ensley. I'm not sure why McKay held up at second base. It looked like she could get in there easily at third, perhaps a bad jump. But thankfully no one was at first base as Pavesi was cutting off the throw from the outfield.
Carolina's starting to time up Manis really well. That one's well below the kneecap. Yeah, that's exactly what looked like happened, Matt, is the late jump from McKay at first. She's trying to see that ball down, and that's what got them hung up. A little traffic jam at second base. That easily should have been a stand-up double for Ensley.
Lexi Winters now at the plate, and a 2-0 lead for South Carolina. And You got to wonder if Ashley Chastain, she said to me before the game, we're just not hitting enough doubles. That's a double off the wall, and it'll go officially as a single. You can't win for losing right now. But a great lead and a great start for South Carolina. That one inside, 2-1. They have 2 more runs now against Clemson than they did the last time they met up back in Columbia. Dribbler to short, to first for the out. Nice play by Chanel. 2 down, both runners advance. And truly, all things being equal, it should be 3-0 had McKay gotten the third on a ground ball in the infield, but still a chance to drive a couple in.
We have seen so much athleticism from Chanel. Couple diving grabs, and we got to cover her earlier this year. She covers the 5-6 hole with so much range.
That brings up Natalie Heath, the redshirt senior from Sharpsburg, Georgia, making her 5th start tonight. Has worked her way into the lineup, trying to mix things up offensively here. She's 5 for 16 on the season. Played 40 games last year after not seeing the field much because of injury her first couple of years, but has spent her entire career at South Carolina. You come up with a big stick here. He fouls that one away, 1-2.
It always excites me when I see a new name this part in the season get an opportunity. 4 starts all year. 16 at-bats. I mean, you compare that to a Carly Shelton with 147 this season.
He fouls that one down the line and picked up foul. Especially if that player can come through for your team. Oh, a new face, a new opportunity. And a big chance here to blow the game open here in the first inning. As South Carolina tries to get back on track, losers of 10 of their last 12. The 1-2. Heath fouls that one. Was it grabbed? And the home plate umpire, Robbie Guest, says that was fouled and not caught cleanly. I think he's going to go get some help. He's going out to Cameron Ellison, the first base umpire, to see what he saw.
Yep. Yeah, Robbie Guest calling this meeting with all 3 of them. I think tough to see, I think, from the blind eye.
Corey Hicks was very convincing,
Very convincing. Gloved that ball immediately. The question is if it hit the dirt.
Okay, so the home plate umpire, Robbie Guest, is saying, we believe that was a foul ball.
Right.
That was not caught.
He believes that it hit the dirt prior to being gloved by Corey Hicks behind the plate.
Let's take another look here.
This is an umpire-initiated review. It is reviewable, so called foul is on the field.
That's a swing and miss, and that's caught cleanly.
Wow.
And sometimes you have to believe the catcher, even though you might try to sell that. But that is a clean catch, no drop third.
You know, I thought I heard
I did
contact.
too.
Yeah.
I did too.
We're gonna see if our team can tee up full audio there, so you maybe can hear what we heard. It did sound like there was contact. But on that look, it doesn't appear to be contact.
I'll also say that Natalie Heath acted like she fouled it off.
Yeah, she stood her ground. Absolutely.
You wonder if this will be the kind of situation as we talk our way through this, if there's not enough evidence to overturn and she'll get another pitch.
Yeah, the call on the field is foul. There would have to be definitive video evidence here, conclusive video evidence to overturn that call.
Yeah, you're not going to see that foul ball from behind home plate. You're going to hear it, and that's what home plate umpire Robbie Guest, I don't believe, is what he heard there. Much longer review than the first one. 2 reviews here, one initiated by South Carolina, this initiated by the home plate umpire. Let's listen here. You do hear the bat.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear that tiny little nick.
Natalie Heath is saying, look, I'm
holding my ground.
ready to hit here again. So here's the other part of this, though. If she fouled it, it was caught cleanly. It's still an out.
That's exactly right. And I think the blind eye from Robbie Guest behind home plate in real time, he was under the impression that that hit the dirt prior to Corey Hicks being able to glove the foul ball. And reminder, if we're able to hear that tiny sound from up in the booth and with our high-tech cameras and mics on the field, imagine what he's hearing from behind the plate.
But here's the only thing they're checking right now, you got to believe, is whether or not the ball hit the dirt. It doesn't matter whether it was foul tipped or not. It was caught. Hopefully we'll get this resolution here. It should end the inning. Okay, so we have a foul ball, and perhaps they were only reviewing whether or not it was a foul ball, not whether it was caught cleanly. I'm not sure if they can review both aspects of that, Aaron Miller, but Natalie Heath doesn't care.
Another life for Natalie Heath.
Sierra Manis going to try and make it a moot point. The 1-2 to Heath after about a 4-minute delay. That one was clearly fouled away. A long half inning. Feels like South Carolina should have a larger lead than they do. If you're Clemson, you'll take 2-0 and run into this dugout. The 1-2 from Manis to Heath. We'll wait. The 1-2 from Manis to Heath. So as a pitcher now, Heath seems to time her up pretty well now. What are you trying to do in the circle?
Well, that's exactly what I was looking at. The type of hacks that Heath is taking feels like a double, triple home run style swing.
A little off speed there.
And as far as extra base hits go, more than double compared to lefties, righties. Manis has given up 17 extra base hits to right-handed swingers.
Heath 5 hits on the season. One of them went for extra bases. Fouls off another one.
Just in general, performance, control, command against lefties far supersedes the numbers that she has against right-handed hitters.
7 consecutive foul balls. 10th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And right back to Manis. 2 are left on base. 2 come home off of 2 hits. South Carolina strikes first. Clemson coming up in the Palmetto Series. South Carolina with a 2-0 lead on Clemson. They're playing the Friends theme song. A reminder, we will be there for you for at least the next 2 hours. Matt Schick, Aaron Miller, Clemson, their first at-bats here, and an offense that has been a real interesting offense to see. They've got a lot of youth. They replaced a lot from last season. They picked up where they left off.
Yeah, this has been a much more fundamental team than the big surge of power at the plate in seasons past. Much more pass the bat, execute the little things style offense. Starts with Brockenbrough at the top, lefty, true triple threat.
Listen, Brockenbrough was showing bunch. They got a 6-game hit streak. Had 4 hits in that series at Pittsburgh, including 2 home runs. Had 4 on the season. Before that Pittsburgh series, had a home run Saturday and Sunday. Looks at a strike 1 and 2. And Jory Hurd, she is going to be the key for this South Carolina program to get where they want to get.
That was the conversation with Chastain Woodard, head coach for South Carolina prior to this game. Creating a path forward, figuring out a way to go deep into postseason, and it's gonna have to be riding this arm of senior Jory Hurd. She was a righty specialist last year.
Short hop gathered by Anderson for the first out.
She had to open up her specialty this year. I think that just the change in the pitching staff, how this staff is being managed, the talent, the way that they are having to piece together their arms, the specialist of just one side of the plate being a matchup type arm had to really open up for her, and she's done a really nice job against lefties this season.
Faces a righty here in Chanel. Kylie Chanel hitting better than 300 on the season. The junior out of Keystone Heights, Florida. Spent 2 seasons at Florida Atlantic. And this is her first season with the Clemson program. 0-2.
Yeah, even coming from FAU, she had attended a lot of Clemson camps early in her recruiting career, so Coach Rittman very familiar with the talent of Kylie Chanel. It was a no-brainer grab in the transfer portal.
A boisterous Clemson partial fandom here tonight. And they see Chanel to left. Lelio underneath it. 2 down. Good start so far for Jory Hurd in the circle here for South Carolina as Lelio grabs the 2nd out of the inning, and that brings up Mac Pavesi, the freshman sensation out of Canton, Georgia. Fresh off a 3-hit weekend at Pitt. She had 2 extra base hits, including a home run. 3 runs batted in that series opener. Series opener that they lost, wound up winning the next 2 games at Pittsburgh. But a 3-hole as a freshman. What does that tell you?
Stud. I mean, she's tied with Corey Hicks for 33 RBIs, leads the team.
And another hit. Her 49th hit of the season for the freshman Pavesi comes with 2 outs.
A young talent, but a confident bat for Clemson. A freshman that plays like a senior, approaches the game with such poise and grit, plays hard. Totally fit into the culture here at Clemson early.
And she now leads the team in hits. She was tied for the lead with Marianne Collins, who is due up behind Macy Sintrum, the sophomore. Now up at the plate, hitting 246. 4 home runs on the season. Low 2-0. ACC Freshman of the Year last year was Macy, now the sophomore from Cumming, Georgia. You can see her in the circle as well. Pitched in all 3 games of the series against Pittsburgh, including getting her first start of the season in the circle on Saturday. Had 3 strikeouts and picked up the win. Two outs, 2-1. 3-1. Throw down to first, not in time, but second strike call. Now we're full with 2 outs. So Pavesi will be off and running on the pitch. The 3-2 from Hurd. In there for a called strike 3. Jory Hurd, as she goes, they go, and right now, looking good.
Well, this is the arm that they're going to ride for the remainder of this season, and she has got it on lock so far through the first inning.
McWhorter Stadium, home of the Clemson Tigers, and right now the home team trailing 2-0 to South Carolina. You look at South Carolina last season, what a magical record and season that it was. They were just 1 out away from going to the Women's College World Series. It's been a different season, and Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard has impressed upon them, look, I don't want to compare this team to last season. Last season's team set the foundation. We're just trying to build off of that. It's in us. We just got to find it.
Massive graduating class, a ton of talent that exited this program. So having to piece together a different lineup this year. I mean, I think about Sam Gress, the captain in the circle for them, went deep. I mean, just a workhorse in the circle for this pitching staff. Brooke Blankenship, another captain, Ella Chansey. I mean, there was some big names that graduated for South Carolina that came over from Charlotte, previous program that Ashley Chastain Woodard is the head coach at.
I wonder how much more challenging it is for a foundation to mean something with the advent of the portal. Right, like you set a foundation for your recruiting classes and you stay, and there was always transfers in softball, that's nothing new. But NIL has certainly added to that, and these teams usually have a handful of transfers each.
It is, and it's one of those games you just have to play. It's part of the beast of our sport right now. Having to manage it, you mentioned the NIL piece of that. That's a whole nother world that we could go down a rabbit hole on.
Kai Byers lifts it to right into the glove of Taylor Pipkins. Yeah, you set a foundation, and then new kids come in and go, well, I wasn't a part of that. I wasn't here when they were doing that for some of these new players. Baseball this week, we'll have the big 3-game series between number 2 Georgia Tech and number 3 North Carolina at Boshemer Stadium in Chapel Hill. Friday's game is 6 Eastern, start on ACC Network Extra. Weekend matinee matchups on ACC Network. Like everything else, all games also available on the ESPN app. Georgia Tech doing a great job. Just took down Florida State.
Coach Chastain Woodard was really honest from last year to this year, so we can't compare. We've got to continue to take the next step. We have to keep building, and part of that is honoring the past, building on it, referencing it when needed, but can't live in it every single day. And this is a coaching staff and a head coach that's very much rooted in the present moment, patient but steadfast with pushing the envelope of this program.
Ball just misses. Yeah, before the game, she said to us pregame, we're just standing in our truth. And she said that multiple times. There's the truth, there's our truth. Let's stick with our truth and the fact that we can get this thing going. Another one just misses now. 3-2 to Shea Anderson. The 9-hole hitter, Quincy Lelio, who walked her first time up, is on deck. 3-2 for Manis with 1 out. That one is slugged down the left field line and fair. Rounding first and hanging there is Anderson on a great play from Kylie Johnson in left. Took a great angle on that one, and the speed holds Anderson to a single.
I may be biased because I was an outfielder, but this is the stuff that lights me up from an analysis standpoint. Keeping that ball that's absolutely laced down the left field line without that angle, speed, and glove work from Johnson, you give up an extra 60 feet, easy. But the fact that you can keep that to a single is big time. That is huge.
And granted, they're shaded. She's shaded a little left field, but that's still a hard hit ball.
Absolutely.
Lelio is showing bunt, trying to play some small ball. We'll see what she does here with an 0-1 count. Shows it again, and a strike call 0-2. Coach says there's a force field around the strike zone when she gets in the box. 1-2. Outside, 2-2.
A redshirt senior, spent 3 seasons at Oklahoma. Stepped into South Carolina last year and absolutely took off offensively for this program.
Just 10 strikeouts to her name at the plate this year. Pops that one in the infield. Manis giving way to the third baseman, Bro. And there are 2 down. Sarah Bro with the nice play. Sarah Bro, the last time these two teams faced off, she had 7 assists, and she was feeling everything. She was a human vacuum cleaner.
I remember that.
Over there at third base.
A hot corner that game.
Yep. Ari Rhodey reached base on a fielder's choice. It was a double play ball, but she beat it out upon further review. Wound up scoring in the inning. The team's first run. '51 home runs in her career for Ariana Rhodey. That is 14th among active players for career home runs. Whiffs at that one, 1-2. Manis trying to leave a third Gamecock stranded on the base. The 1-2 to Rhodey.
Notice Manis is hammering at the knees. The drop ball falls off the back of that table against Rhodey, and Rhodey taking massive cuts and looking a little bit early from a timing perspective.
Did she go? She certainly did. The drop third in play with 2 outs, the tag, and the out. First strikeout of the night for Manis leaves a Gamecock stranded at first. 2-0 South Carolina. Matchstick Aaron Miller, 2-0 South Carolina over Clemson. And we do want to give a shout out to Riley Burton. He's been named the Community MVP by Food Line in a celebration of 40 years as the official grocer of the ACC, and has donated 5,000 meals to a local Clemson food bank in her name. She has done just some very great work. Dedicated student athlete at Clemson, embraced so many opportunities to serve others and invest in her community. Look at the Clemson Life program. Weekly grocery shopping trips with the Clemson Life students, visits to local retirement homes, and an international service trip to Costa Rica. That one is bombed to right field and grabbed by McKay at the fence. Marion Collins says, enough with the read, get my highlight. But McKay makes the out at the fence.
Tell this guy to be quiet.
No kidding.
Absolutely mashed. Again, with the stellar outfield, the fact that she is able to glove that stretch across the body, right center field.
And this one is lifted to left. Quincy Lilio, does she have room? Certainly does. 2 pitches, 2 flyouts, 2 outs.
Got that for quick work from Jory Hurd.
I mean, if this one's flown out to center field, we're playing the lottery tonight.
17 pitches in the first inning, 2 pitches thrown so far in the second.
Sarah Bro at the plate. See if she's first pitch swinging here. 2-0 South Carolina. Doesn't swing, it's a strike, 0-1. Little Jeopardy theme song to Sarah Bro's last name. Freshman out of Miami Springs, Florida. Check that, they're just saying ball. Could be Bro. They could change it to Bro if they'd like. But I don't think you want to taunt your batter as she's at the plate. She's had some big hits this year and some great hands at third, which we talked about last half inning. Jory Hurd trying to make quick work of the Tigers here in the second. And this one, another fly ball. Jamie McKay doesn't have to display as much athleticism on that one. 2-0 South Carolina. 3 up, 3 down. We'll talk to what should be a pretty joyful Ashley Chastain Woodard coming up. Matt Schick, Aaron Miller, 2-0 South Carolina, and the head coach of the Gamecocks, Ashley Chastain Woodard, joins us now. I know you said pregame, we just need to get more extra base hits. You probably should have had a double in the first inning, but you still got a couple of runs. How would you assess the start for your team offensively?
Yeah, I think it's a great start. I mean, they look ready. They showed up ready. I think we're attacking her really well. So executing the plan well, I really like what they're doing.
Coach, with where we are in the season, the importance of this midweek, huge to your team. How did you tee this up to your squad coming into Clemson?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a message that we've had, honestly, for about 2 weeks. We've been in a really tough stretch of our season, and just staying steadfast in our belief in who we are and what we can do, and just separating each game, treating each game as its own, and giving ourselves a chance to win mentally and physically every time we play.
Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
2-0 South Carolina with the lead on Clemson, and trying to add to that, and Carly Shelton. Certainly someone who could do that with a swing of the bat. 5 home runs on the season. As Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard calls her a diesel engine of this team. Intense all the time, brings it every at-bat. She was hit by a pitch and scored in that first inning. And here she is leading off the third. Sierra Manis, transfer from USC upstate, that's South Carolina upstate. Swing and a miss by Shelton. Was great in the Big South. Big South all-conference first team last year, all-freshman team, and all-conference performer in her freshman year, facing Carly Shelton, the 1-1. Off her foot, 1-2.
Manis now 54 pitches coming into the top of the third inning here. A lot of work so far in the circle. It's a nice location on the inner corner. And again, early is Carly Shelton. You can see that tips off the front toe. Timing has been so important for both of these teams, getting challenged at the bottom half of the strike zone.
You saw the moment that hit her foot, the ow from Shelton, and usually now we have some laughter going on, which is a good sign.
You see this a lot, especially facing a drop ball pitcher. You got that down ball spin that bites late in the strike zone, falls off the back of the table. And if you don't square it up properly, bound to hit one off the shin, the toe, the foot, somewhere. See that ankle guard on the front leg.
Trainer Maylene Cordero Villamil checking her out. Shelton checking back in, 1-2. To short, Chanel up with it. What an arm. So smooth there at third, or at shortstop for the first out of the inning.
Can of corn, she makes it look so easy. I can tell you this is not an easy position to play. We have seen her athleticism on display from game 1 all the way to almost through conference play now. She has been lights out at shortstop for Clemson.
Jamie McKay swings through that one for the first strike. Jamie McKay showing off the athleticism in right field with that backhanded catch against the wall to save extra bases. Or at least near the warning track. And McKay singled in the first inning, was left on base. The 1-1. McKay, hard rip under the glove of Bro. Call it the hot corner for a reason. A 1-out rip to left field.
Smash. This is true turn and burn power. Belt high, inner half of the strike zone. I think it's caught a little bit on the hands, but so much power through that extension gets right past Bro at third base.
And we will have a pinch runner for South Carolina. That should be Lexi Shaver. Transfer from Kennesaw State. Coach says she's fast. She better be. She's a pinch runner. Trying to put some pressure on the teams on the base pass with Shaver there at first. And 1 out here in the third inning. Tori Ensley, who hit one to the fence but was saddled with a single, did drive in a couple. Should have had a double, which is what I was referring to Ashley Chastain Woodard in that interview. Not the greatest of jumps from McKay, who was at first base. Ensley looking to do some more damage. Swings through that one, 0-2.
Pulled a little bit off of that pitch. About 6 miles an hour, just enough to disrupt the timing of Ensley.
To Bro, gets the out at second, no throw to first, 2 down. Not sure if Manis could have gotten to that, but it's a good thing she just let it go. That takes some discipline and maturity.
Yeah, a lot of communication on defense. You could see Chanel having to bail out there. She was trying to go cover second base and had to immediately abort mission.
Chatter on the infield, always important. Lexi Winters looks at a ball. So the speedy Shaver is erased from first. Would be second. Now Ensley at first base, reaching on the fielder's choice. And Lexi Winters, in her second season with South Carolina, had a couple of hits in the series lost to Florida. Hitless in 8 of her last 11 games. Was 0 for 2 the last time they faced Clemson. Blue getting heckled early and often here at McWhorter Stadium. One of America's greatest pastimes. 2-1. Winters back to Manis, makes easy work of that, and another runner left stranded. 2-0 South Carolina. Clemson looking for some offense. We'll talk to John Rittman about that next. It is a 2-0 lead for South Carolina. Another packed house. The fans just come out here. Great weather, great atmosphere. I know you want to see some runs here, and we might see them here in the third, Coach Rittman, but how would you just describe what this place is like to play in?
It's just great. I mean, we're so blessed to have such a wonderful community here at Clemson that supports all the sports, and they supported us from day one, and just a great crowd. And we're, like I said, we're blessed to play in front of them. We have a beautiful facility, and couldn't ask for a better place to play and a better night tonight against your rival.
We're happy to be here, Coach. Back half of conference play now, you know, looking ahead for the journey. How important is this midweek here at home for you guys?
Well, it's extremely important. I mean, it's South Carolina, it's rivalry, so it's a huge game for us. But more importantly, we got the series win last weekend after Florida State and Virginia Tech, so that was nice. We're trying to get back on a roll a little bit. Got a tough remaining schedule with Virginia and Duke in conference, so looking to build some momentum tonight. You know, Sierra just had a rough first inning there, a base on ball and a hit batter, and they made us pay for it. So hopefully we can get some runs back.
All right, John, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being here.
Absolutely, our pleasure. Just a great place to watch a softball game. And you hear the God bless the USA Military Appreciation Weekend coming up for Clemson softball. Great military tradition here. They just honored someone who served. Got a standing ovation. Just a picture-perfect night in so many ways. And what would make it better for Clemson fans? Getting some runs on the board. We'll see if Kylie Johnson can start off this inning hot, bottom of the third inning. You saw a very quick second inning. Just a handful of pitches for her to get out of that one. 1-1 count here to Johnson. Still looking through going through their first time through the order here in the 8th spot here with Johnson. She's faced one above the minimum so far. One and two.
Love the energy that Jory Hurd brings to the circle. She works quick, throws a pitch, gets the call, immediately back on the mound. Very efficient in the circle. And you get the sense that she is in control of the rhythm, the pace of play, wants to keep the game moving, wants to stay in rhythm.
Three and two. She walks Johnson. That's the Aaron Miller jinx that we will call that here. She hasn't done well since you lifted her up 2 pitches ago. 3-2 count here from Jory Hurd to Kylie Johnson.
I'm gonna start to heckle me up here.
Johnson rips that one foul.
There's no way I could survive being a umpire. I'm way too sensitive.
Every time I think to myself, because I do a lot of youth baseball coaching and have coached softball as well, I'm like, you know what? When I'm done coaching, I want to be an umpire.
Yeah.
And then I watch, I go, why would anyone want to do that?
I couldn't do it.
The 3-2.
There's no way that like hearing the environment and hearing the opinion of the stadium around me wouldn't affect my ability to call balls and strikes out. Say, I mean, it would
be like Liam Neeson in Naked Gun, right? Where you're just calling, you're just trying to placate the crowd. Enrico Palazzo, Kylie Johnson fouls that one away.
Good at bat here by Johnson. And honestly, for Clemson right now, the battle would be setting the table early. That would be a huge win. Weren't able to do it in the first and second inning, quick innings.
That one is hammered to left. Coming over to make the play is Ensley. I did just put Liam Neeson in the Naked Gun. It's Leslie Nelson. That was the late great that Leslie Nelson was in. I knew it didn't sound right when I said it. I'm correcting myself. That was not in the headset. We move on. Taylor Pipkins. We said, we talked about Pipkins in the intro to the show. 5 straight games with a home run in the 9-hole.
She is without a doubt the hottest bat in this order. Only 58 appearances at the plate, comparatively to a 140 at-bat season so far for Mac Pavesi. That doesn't matter. She has been the hot stick.
No one here like that call. Whether you're behind the plate, down the first base line, third base line. It's a peppering of South Carolina fans, but you can't hear them.
John Rittman shaking his head over there in the third base coaching box.
The 1-1 to Pipkins. That would look better. Pipkins riding an 8-game hit streak, including 5 home runs. That one right back to Hurd. 2 away. Top of the order, Jamison Brockenbrough. Back up, she rounded out to short her first time up. She hit a couple of home runs in that series against Pittsburgh. She has been tremendous for Clemson this season. She can bunt, she can slap, she can hit for power or average. A huge spark plug in this Clemson lineup. Two and oh. This one skied to left. Lelio has had some action over there and makes the catch for out number 3. Jory Hurd has faced 1 over the minimum through 3. It's 2-0 visitors.
Of the drop ball. Manis in the circle. This is the heat map, 70%. You see all that bright red. That's the money zone for her. Looking at her pitch log, Matt, over 1,400 drop balls she has thrown in the arsenal this year. I mean, it is well over 60% of what she is throwing in the strike zone. And it's paid off. Majority of the outs that she's made this game have come by way of the ground ball.
Natalie Heath at the plate. So if you're South Carolina, I mean, you can get a hold of these heat maps as well. You know what she does well. You know what she's trying to induce. How do you combat that when you're at the plate?
Has to be timing. You got to see the pitch deep in the stance. It can't be early. You can't be out front. You got to almost hit it off the back toe. Think opposite field, up the middle. much easier said than done. I hated facing drop ball pitchers. Hated it, so challenging.
Heath hammers this one foul. What would you say the percentage would be on pitchers that throw effective drop balls in college softball that we see, that you would hate to face?
There's some pretty nasty ones out there.
Because it's such an effective pitch.
It is so effective. I think the rise ball is arguably just as effective if you can change eye levels correctly, right? Because you got it with Manis here. She's able to do it with speed. She's able to pull the string a bit back on the same pitch. We've seen, again, that's the 59-mile-an-hour drop. Same break, but she's able to flex speeds to disrupt timing. But personally, I love to face a rise ball far more than facing a drop ball arm.
The 3-2. Heath to third. Bro, the short hop. Nothing she can't get. One out. Hey, look at the pitch selection here. What does that tell you?
Yeah, the numbers don't lie.
The heat map is
It's
hot
right.
for a reason.
It is hot for a reason.
Kai Byers at the plate now. The 8-hole hitter for South Carolina flew out to right her last time up. Looking for her first hit since March 8th. 0 for her last 10. It was 0 for 2 in the series against Florida. But they really like what she brings out of Mechanicsville, Virginia, the freshman. Very bright future for her, and just trying to get her as many reps as possible. Parents played softball and baseball in college. Best part about her, she has a dog named Gus. Love those kinds of names.
I love that name. I was just about to say that, like the old man name.
We had a dog years ago named Steve. It was a German short-hair pointer. His friends probably made fun of him all the time. In there for a strike, 3-1.
Yes, that's great.
Good boy. Sully there hanging out with the grounds crew. If they don't have any work to do, he'll give them something to work on. A walk there for Byers to lead off the fourth.
First walk, second walk of the game for Manis. Third free bag. Remember, she had the walk and the hit by pitch back in the first inning, and those two free passes what started some chaos for Clemson. Brody came around to score on the fielder's choice. Shelton, who was hit by the pitch, came around to score.
Well, see what they decide to do here with Shea Anderson at the plate. Top of the order coming up. Byers with 1 stolen base on the season. This is the 80th pitch coming up for Manis. 1-1. Shea Anderson. You see Lelio on deck. Anderson looking for her first hit since the last time they played Clemson back on March 25th. Since then, 0 for 14. Actually looking for her second hit of the night. Was 0 for 14 before she singled in the second inning. Maybe a turning of the page for Anderson. 3-1 now, and Manis struggling there in the circle. What do you notice?
Has some pop, and 6 home runs on the year for Anderson, and that's something that Manis has to respect.
As John Riven makes the slow walk to the circle to discuss things with Manis. We're getting some action now in the bullpen.
Walked Byers and then struggling to establish that strike zone here against Anderson. 3-1 already. To me, I'm looking also at the pitch count. Already 82 pitches thrown now through the fourth.
Abby Dunning warming up for Clemson, just getting loose. Transfer from Boston College. You got to think that what happens with this batter is going to go a long way in determining how long Manis is left in.
That's exactly right.
3-1 now to Anderson. Anderson through the hole on the left side, out of the glove of Chanel. And so the 8 and 9 batters reach base. Anderson with her second hit of the night, which is a godsend after her 0 for 14 streak. Top of the order coming up.
Yeah, unfortunate because she gets the ground ball, which she wanted, but it's through the 5-6 hole, and even with Chanel's range at shortstop, unable to glove that. And that rolls the lineup back over to the very dangerous Quincy Lilio.
Lilio thinking about a bunt. Do you like that idea? Button for a hit, it almost feels
like. Yeah, this is the second time we've seen that. Yeah. We saw her flash the short game in the second inning as well. She ended up flying out to Bro at third base.
Trying to put some pressure on that Clemson defense. See if she shows again. She does. Also checking out the defense, the Clemson with the wheel play on. Shortstop Chanel covering third, and as a base runner, you're looking out for that.
I think she's keeping the defense honest here, making sure that they're not playing too shallow, taking what she can get.
The 1-1. 2-1 now to the dangerous Lilio.
8 doubles on the air, no home runs, but there's a lot of pop, gap-to-gap pop.
9 extra base hits. The 2-1. 3-1. The Clemson faithful thinking that one was on the outside corner.
They were asking for the check swing. I was more concerned about pitch location.
Right.
It's a screwball that breaks. Granted, I think looking at that again, it's maybe a ball in the river. 2
for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight are the Gamecocks, and a 3-1. A bunt goes foul. Should be clearly swinging here. Big pitch from Manis. Just misses, and Lilio knew it. Started taking the armor off as soon as that ball hit the glove. And now the base is loaded and 1 out. And the heart of the order coming up. 2 walks, a ground ball single. And Ari Rhodey with 51 career home runs to her name at the plate. Nowhere to put her, 1-0. She is top 15 nationally in career active home runs.
Seven home runs on the year, 477 slug. I want you to pay attention to that heat map. Check out where that overlaps with the heat map we saw from Manis. Low in the zone is a power alley for her, low and away.
That one low and away to short, get the force out at home. Nice play from Chanel. Knew exactly where she wanted to go with that ball. And now there are 2 down, the bases remain loaded.
It's right into the game plan of Manis off the end of the bat, and of course it's Chanel. The vacuum defensively for Clemson comes up with a strike to Corey Hicks at home plate for the force out. It's a big pitch from Manis.
Carly Shelton now at the plate, looks at a ball 1-0.
These are the situations I think that Ashley Chastain Woodard points to. It's what she chatted with us pregame about, is the hit in the moments that matter. And this being one of those, a bases loaded sitch.
And you've got the batters up there that you want. Yeah, I mean, Ari Rhodey is as good as it gets for this team. She did it at Charlotte. She's doing it with South Carolina. They're 1 for 2 with the bases loaded tonight. Shelton trying to make it 2 for 3. That one, ground ball to first, nearly hit the bag. And Pavesi able to make the out. The bases are left loaded. 2-0 South Carolina. After we went to break, Ashley Chastain Woodard, with the direction from Carly Shelton, said, let's challenge this. She thought it hit the orange bag, which would make it foul, the safety bag. It looks to us like it just split the difference.
The middle, yeah.
And it is a fair ball, and Clemson will head back to the dugout. Carly Shelton in disbelief, but it appeared to be the right call. Whatever the call in the field was likely going to be what it was.
Yeah, that was a great look from our camera crew, production crew, to see exactly where that hit. And I agree. I think that was split right up the middle of the bag, stayed fair.
And that's not an easy play for Pavesi as that ball hits the base and she comes up with it. This is our next women's lacrosse matchup right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. The latest chapter in the Great Tobacco Road rivalry. #1 Tar Heels taking on number 19 Duke. Thursday, coverage begins at 5 Eastern. But you mentioned it, South Carolina, those are the moments, leaving the bases loaded. 2 instances with the bases loaded in that inning. They've left 7 on base tonight.
Big opportunities that they have been unable to cash in. That's kind of been the Achilles heel for South Carolina. Needing big hits, needing fundamental at-bats in specific moments and unable to execute it.
I mean, with 1 out, you had the bases loaded. There's a fielder's choice to short and a great play by Chanel. And then a ground ball to first. That's where those Manis inducing those ground balls is so key with those bases loaded.
Well, and if you're Clemson, you get out of that inning. Well, to me, the challenge would be looking to this offense and saying, do something with that gift.
Right.
Do something with that gift.
2-0 should not be enough to beat us if you're Clemson. That's got to be the mindset here. And Kylie Chanel, wouldn't you know, strides to the plate, made a really good play at short. Entered the night hitting 300. That's dipped below. Now to 298 after flying out of the first inning. As we enter the bottom of the 4th. And a very key game for both of these Palmetto State teams. South Carolina trying to get back on track, losers of 10 of their last 12. Clemson starting a 5-game home stretch to wrap up the home slate of the regular season. Ground ball to Heath. Heath's trying to match Bro. Nice play by the third baseman, 1 out.
Yeah, Heath playing in very shallow. That was a single bounce to the glove. Great setup on defense.
McPavesi had a hard-hit single her first time up in the first, was left stranded after the strikeout from Cintron. In there for a strike, 0-1. McPavesi was a high school stud, as most college freshman starters are. Right into the glove of Lelio. She's earning her scholarship in NIL tonight. Plenty of action in left.
A lot of action in the outfield in general.
Seen it contrasting with the way the pitchers are impacting the batters. A lot of ground balls from Manis, a lot of fly balls and line drives from Hurd.
7 fly ball outs.
Macy Cintron, the 4-hole hitter here for Clemson. Had a hit in all 3 games of the series at Pittsburgh, looking for her first hit of the night. Snapped an 0-for-11 streak in that series in the Steel City. Three and 0 now to the 4-hole. The leading hitter for Clemson, Marion Collins, is on deck.
Hurd quickly getting behind 3. I know, I think this is what obviously poses the meeting from Winters. You know, she's been very much in control now coming into the 4th inning. Only 46 pitches comparatively. Over 90 pitches thrown from Manis. Efficient. I talked about the rhythm, her pace in the circle, how she controls the flow of the game. Feels like she's in the driver's seat.
3-1. Cintron right back to Hurd. Hurd off her glove, picks it up with the glove. Kind of a weak throw to first, but does get the out. Hurd was just collecting her thoughts, perhaps, as he was trying to get that one. Didn't barehand it, reaches with the glove and just in time.
Yeah, buzzes the tower, but Jory Hurd able to maintain composure, turns around, gets the out.
Well, South Carolina did all of their damage so far in the first inning. They have 5 hits so far, all of them singles. That one probably should have been a double. It was not because of a base running error, but 2-0 South Carolina, Aaron Miller.
Yeah, took advantage in the first with a couple free bases, the walk, the hit by pitch, the fielder's choice. It hasn't been super sexy for South Carolina, but it's been enough to hold the lead now through the 5th inning.
Yeah, South Carolina is not in the business of style points right now. They just want points. They want runs. They want to win.
I think you heard, too, from the mid-game interviews from both South Carolina, Ashley Chastain Woodard, and John Rittman over for Clemson, the importance of this midweek. Both of them trying to catch their stride through a tough conference road.
Rowe with a nice play to her left, cutting off Chanel. Chanel giving way to the great third baseman freshman.
Both of these squads fighting to find a little bit of their groove. Clemson 9-9 through ACC play. South Carolina 3-12 through conference play. It's been a tough road, been battle tested. A couple bumps and bruises for both of these teams. When you get a chance to play an in-state rival midweek, you cannot miss these chances. Too important.
Yeah, certainly a win that would benefit both in a lot of different ways. Tori Ensley provided the lone runs tonight with that 2 RBI single to the fence, to the right around the Clemson paw on Clemson in center field. Strides to the plate here, 1-1. 100th pitch from Manis forthcoming. This one also to center field, but a little more manageable for Brockenbrough, 2 down.
Officially 100 pitches for Manis.
Now facing Lexi Winters. Struggled at the start of the year. Started to come around, had a couple of hits in that series against Florida. Or a series like they had against Florida can really take it out of you if you're South Carolina. They got outscored 26-3 in those 3 games. 2-1.
Rothrock was something special in the circle, game 1.
2-1 to Winters. Winters to Bro. Automatic. 3 up, 3 down here in the 5th. Clemson looking for some runs, looking for some hits. Miller here at McWhorter Stadium in Clemson, South Carolina. 2-0 visitors. South Carolina with the lead on Clemson. The Clemson faithful, they were lined up early for this one. I walked in and there was a line of at least 50 people waiting to get in. They had their lawn chairs out, ready for those gates to open. I almost felt bad walking in front of them with the ESPN media credential. But they're all friendly, all hospitable, and trying to make things uncomfortable here for South Carolina. What do they need to do offensively?
Setting the table early would be nice. Not a single leadoff on through 4 innings. So if you're Marion Collins, trying to work a 1-0 count here in her favor. Jory Hurd just working so quickly in the circle. Her pace of play. Again, my third-party perspective, if I had a Clemson uniform on and a bat in my hand, is trying to disrupt the timing of Jory Hurd, slow her down in the circle.
Collins to left, Lilio! Right into the glove. Plenty of action in left field, and the speedy Lilio making the catch, 1 out.
5 fly ball outs for Lilio tonight. A lot of work in left field. This one's more of a line shot. She had to go up the left field line to grab this.
I mean, that's a huge catch. That's a leadoff double erased. There's room to spare. This one to right. McKay has room, going over to make the play, and does. Jamie McKay. Left field with Lilio, right field with McKay, making the play.
We're about to have a rinse and repeat of the second inning. All 3 outs, 3 up, 3 down, happen in the outfield. McKay flashing the leather a little bit up the foul pole line. Almost busting through the fence.
I like it. A lot go with the visor. She's got the baseball cap.
I respect it.
She's got a baseball background. That's a big reason why. Sarah Bro now at the plate. McKay played with the United States women's national baseball team as a pitcher and catcher. And wants to one day work in the MLB. Bro, you were saying, Aaron Miller?
Wow.
A repeat of the second inning. 3 fly balls to the corner outfield positions. Jory Hurd loving it. 4 through 5. Clemson trailing 2-0. Get the band played on. Baseball this week. We'll have the big 3-game series between #2 Georgia Tech and #3 North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Friday's game is a 6 Eastern start on ACC Network Extra. The weekend matinee matchups on ACC Network. Like everything else, all games also available on the ESPN app. Georgia Tech is playing so well. Drew Burris and company all coming back from last year. Danny Hall stepping aside, and Georgia Tech doing their thing. See if South Carolina can add some insurance to Hurd. If you're South Carolina now, do you feel like 2 is enough? You're through 5 innings. You haven't done a ton offensively, but Hurd is dealing.
Hurd's been a monster in the circle. 53 pitches through 5 innings compared to the 104 pitches, now 106 pitches for Manis.
That's a remarkable comparison.
100%. Manis had her best inning, 3 up, 3 down in the 5th, only threw 9 pitches. The only 3 up, 3 down inning she's had through this game.
John Rittman, that might be it with a 3-0 count. Action in the bullpen. We'll see what Coach Rittman decides to do here. Maybe giving just a little more time with this final batter.
Manis came into this start with 138 innings thrown. Hames in the bullpen. She's going to stay.
Yeah, Lexi Hames, the righty. Cintron also walking down there. Bring in some action. Natalie Heath, the 4-pitch walk. Looking for a pinch runner again here for Heath. And it will be Nia McKnight, the sophomore. Has been used primarily as a pinch runner during her short time here at South Carolina in her 2nd season with the Gamecocks. Now Kai Byers, who walked in the 4th inning. And on deck is Shea Anderson, who has 2 of her team's 5 hits tonight. 5 straight balls from Manis to start the 6th.
Four walks and a hit by pitch for Manis. South Carolina has done a nice job of being patient at the plate. They've worked counts deep, 110 pitches out of the hand of her. They haven't chased.
Chastain Woodard making some notes. Hoping to add some runs to those notes. Three and 1 now to Byers. You have to imagine a walk here, and there'll likely be a change in the circle. The 3-1. Ground ball to first. Pavesi can't go to 2nd, had to go to 1st. The speedy McKnight, she's in there for a reason. Takes out the force out at 2nd. Could have been a double play.
Pavesi thought about it. She wanted to get that fielder's choice, the lead out at 2nd base. She saw the play developed in front of her, didn't have the play, and had the wheels to come back and get the sure out in her own bag.
Yeah, that would not have been a double play, not in time, but trying to get that lead runner. Shea Anderson with 2 hits on the night. And looks at a strike, 0-1. The Clemson Tiger up here in the booth with us, hanging out.
I had a little jump scare. I saw somebody behind me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I saw you looking behind and you smiled, but you did kind of startle.
He blushed.
You know, this is what you do when you need to change momentum in a game. This is a very smart move by Clemson.
You send the mascot to the TV.
Did John Rittman send you up here? Did he send you? He's not saying anything. Okay, understood.
Little TV time. How to get the 15 seconds of fame.
3-1 now.
Manna's still working behind. Third straight batter she's faced, having to work in the hole.
Three-one to Anderson. 3-2. This would be a huge out any way they can get it. Clemson Tiger behind us, calling for the strikeout prematurely here. The 3-2. That one is skied to right center field. Pipkins under it, makes the catch. McKnight is going to tag from second. The throw doesn't beat her. McKnight too speedy, and so the third run of the game. Now 60 feet away, but there are 2 critical outs.
Yeah, not shocked to see the tag and run here from McKnight. It's exactly why she entered this ball game. Has the wheels, has the speed to test the arm of Pipkins in right field, and grabs another 60.
Boy, this would be a huge run for South Carolina. And this is another one of those critical situations for South Carolina. Can you get the run when you need it? Can you get the big hit? You're leading 2-0, but you never know if you need that extra one. You might as well take it. 2-0.
Rolling it back over to the top of the order, Lilio's had such a stellar eye all game. 2 walks, had the fly out to Bro at third base. A clutch bat for them all season long in the leadoff. A lot of power, took destiny into her own hands, especially this year as a redshirt senior. Just decided that this was going to be her year.
122 pitches now for Maness. It's John Rittman hoping she can get one more out. And it won't happen here. And we're looking at John Rittman. He's making a note.
No movement.
Nothing. Yet.
Well, now facing Ariana Rhodey. Hitless. Had that fielder's choice both in the first and the second.
Just gonna feel like Rhodey is due.
Yeah.
If a player is due, it's Ari Rhodey. For 3 tonight. A big bat in this lineup, the 0-1. 1-1. But she hasn't figured out Maness tonight. Takes second base without the throw, and so one swing here could double the lead.
The misses from Maness just have not been competitive. You're not seeing bites from South Carolina. You're not seeing swings on pitchers' pitches. Just not deceptive enough on the corners.
The 2-1. In there for a strike. 2-2. 128th pitch from Sierra Maness coming up. Ashley Chastain Woodard. They're kind of trying to break up the momentum here a little bit.
Well, you can hear the chirp from Chastain Woodard. She was not happy with that last strike call from Maness, who's been struggling to find the strike zone this entire inning. This was the pitch that Chastain Woodard not happy about, and I got to tell you, I agree with her.
She was set up outer half, but that looked like a ball in. The catcher got crossed up.
Absolutely. Corey Hicks getting crossed up, a missed spot in the inner half.
2-2 to Ari Rhodey. To Chanel. 2 more left on base. Will it come back to bite South Carolina? Clemson, the Tigers, will try and make that happen. South Carolina has had some offensive woes this season. 43 games. That includes going into tonight. Hitting .297, 400 on base percentage, slugging .483. Look at the last 12 games. They've lost 10 of those. Yeah. It's come against tough opponents, and that plays a big part of it.
Totally. I mean, definitely. They've faced some very tough arms in the circle, a tough road through SEC play. But the habits, I think, that this offense has fallen into, we've even seen displayed here in Clemson. 9 left on base. They've had ample amount of opportunity to throw up some insurance on the board, and this offense has just not figured out a way to cash it in. I think Jory Hurd has done a nice job of buying time for her offense to figure some things out. She's been in a nice rhythm, only 54 pitches thrown coming into the 6th. I mean, it's just so efficient in the circle and has not had much offensive support behind her.
2 runs might be enough. Kylie Johnson flew out to center her last time up in the 3rd. We're in the 6th. 2-1. Johnson pops this one out of play. Jory Hurd has been so effective tonight, and she's a name that kept getting mentioned pregame by Ashley Chastain Woodard. She is going to be our path to where we want to go. We're going to put her in position to help us out and to be successful, and she has been nothing but successful tonight. One thing she hasn't done is allowed the leadoff runner on base, and she just did.
If you're Clemson, you got to take this gift and you got to do something with it. First time they've had a leadoff on, you just mentioned. Jory's been so good with that first batter of each inning. Now we're going to see a bit of a conference.
Yeah, you're not changing pitchers at this juncture, but just a conversation.
We'll check in. Zach Parsons in the circle there, 2nd season at South Carolina. A couple more arms in the bullpen, getting ready.
Julie Kelly, the sophomore, the transfer from Kentucky, up in the bullpen. Just 1 hit tonight for Clemson. That came from Mac Pavesi in the 1st inning, 3rd batter of the game. Since then, only 1 batter has reached base. That's Kylie Johnson, who's at 1st after the leadoff walk. And now Taylor Pipkins, who has hit a home run in each of the last 5 games, is at the plate. This one a looper, and McKay comes in to make the catch. That's a big first out.
Huge out. Back to the outfield for South Carolina. They've been so elite tonight, gotten a lot of work both sides of the field.
10 fly ball outs tonight off of Clemson bats, and only 1 of them to Tori Inslee in center. Top of the order, Jamison Brockenbrough at the plate. First pitch strike. Jamison Brockenbrough spent her freshman season at Tennessee. Now in her 2nd season with the Tigers. Different shade of orange. The 0-1. That one through the hole. McKay. You're not going to test that arm. 2 on and 1 out here. And that's the 2nd hit of the game and the 1st since the 1st inning for Clemson.
Things starting to cook here for Clemson. Gotta appreciate the short, compact swing of Brockenbrough at the plate. You mentioned the 10 fly ball outs for Clemson. Well, she had to do something different. This is at the knees. Throws the hands, the barrel at the ball, punching this through the 3-4 hole of the infield. Fundamental at bat from Jam at the plate.
And now Kylie Chanel, who has been so good in the field, trying to add something with her bat, tried to move both runners into scoring position. What do you think of the small ball approach with 1 out?
I think I'm more so looking at the fact that you've got a 2-run deficit too, right? It's gonna have to take more than 1 run.
Chanel puts it down. Hurd to first. So she does her job. Now we'll see if Mac Pavesi, the talented freshman, who has hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight, can tie this game up.
Yeah, and again, if you're going to give the bat to anybody in this 2-out situation, it has to be Mac Pavesi. That's exactly who you would want to be standing at home plate. 5 home runs, leads the team in average, 343 on the year.
Leads the team in hits with 49. A 50th hit could tie this one up. Under the lights here at Clemson.
Leads this team in RBI too.
And every swing she takes is with ferocity. That ball comes off the bat hot. Her first collegiate homer came against Oregon. It was in her collegiate debut. Mac Pavesi is special. And this is a big-time moment.
304 average with runners in scoring position.
What a great pitch from Hurd.
We have not seen that all game. That has not been a pitch. The off-speed, 56 miles an hour, a complete shock in an 0-1 count to Pavesi.
Her arsenal is wide open here at 0-2. Right back to Hurd, off the glove. The shortstop, Anderson, in time. Score it 1-6-3, and South Carolina gets out of the jam. South Carolina with a 2-0 lead. Mac Pavesi with a hard hit ball goes off the glove of Hurd. Sometimes it pays to be lucky.
Yeah, Pavesi 500 average with runners on second and third, and comes up just shy of elevating that average.
I mean, if that doesn't hit Hurd's glove, that's going to center field.
Yes, base hit, at least a run.
What a play. And Anderson with the throw. And now try and add to their lead here as we enter the top of the 7th inning.
130 pitches now for Manis. Most pitches she's thrown in a game was 132. was against Louisville earlier this year. I think we're about to eclipse that.
Showing no signs of slowing down. The 0-2 to Carly Shelton. To second base. Collins scoops it up. Now Jamie McKay, who's hit the ball hard 3 times, has 2 hits to her name, has a big catch in right center field. Just an all-around athlete. It's a 1-0. .135 pitches.
Officially the most pitches in a game for Manis. Despite the struggle in trying to find that strike zone, defense done a nice job supporting her, taking the ground ball outs where she gets them.
This one hammered to right field. Pipkins going back, looks up, and it's gone! Jamie McKay with her 5th home run of the season. And the first extra base hit of the night. Gives South Carolina a 3-0 lead.
Early in this ball game, you'd asked me, how do you hit a drop ball pitcher? You have to see the ball late in the stance. You have to see it deep. Timing up that contact up the middle opposite field, a beautiful execution of that in that swing from McKay, and just sneaks out over the right field wall and an extra insurance run for South Carolina. They've been fighting to put something else on the board. They only scored in the first through these 7 innings, and it's McKay that sneaks an extra insurance run here in the top of the 7th.
A 3-hit night for McKay. She has a hit in 8 of her last 10 games. And a 3-0 lead now for South Carolina, at least going into the bottom of the 7th inning. A South Carolina team that has scored just 18 runs over their last 12 games, averaging 1.5 runs a game during that span, including 3 shutouts. And they're not blowing the doors off of Clemson tonight. I mean, it's 3 runs. What's the formula? Score enough for Jory Hurd to get you a win.
That's it.
This one to right, not as deep. Pipkins has it, 2 down.
Interested to see if Hurd comes out to finish the bottom of the 7th. We saw her come into the dugout after the 6th inning and tape up the arm, put ice on the arm, bandage the arm. I just wonder if that is that's all we're going to see of her.
And now for South Carolina, Alyssa Hoverman at the plate. Overmail just has not been seeing the softball like she used to. 0 for 16 over her last 7 games with 10 strikeouts. Was 1 for 2 the last time she faced Clemson, but just has 1 hit since then. 1-1 now facing Manis as Hurd loosening up.
The wrap is off. Will we see her finish this ball?
It might not be a wrap for Jory Hurd.
There you go.
This is a packed Clemson house here tonight. And they have seen their team unable to plate a run so far.
It is a full house.
I mean,
the berm is full.
Yeah, it's a great night. Temps in the low 80s to start this game.
Good swings there from Overmail. Timing up Manis really well. If I were Manis, I'd pull the string on that 60-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, try and disrupt the timing here of this pinch hitter.
The 2-2 to winners. Excuse me, Overmail. Ground ball to first base. Pavesi with the play. But not before McKay. You know what? You don't need runners in scoring position when McKay puts one over the fence.
The timing adjustment here of McKay perfectly executed deep in the stance, and an insurance run on the board for South Carolina.
Matt Schick alongside the former All-American and World Series champion Aaron Miller. South Carolina with a 3-0 lead on Clemson. Clemson with just 2 hits through 6 innings. Had runners in scoring position in the 6th inning. And that's as close as they have come to plating a run. Now Macy Cintron, it's 4, 5, and 6 due up. A trio of sophomores coming to the plate. And Jory Hurd back in the circle. She has been so efficient.
68 pitches thrown, 45 of those have been strikes. She hammers the strike zone.
0-2. Macy Cintron. Had an injury in October, got off to a slow start, sat out a lot of the fall. Back to the team in January, and she's had a great sophomore campaign. 1-2. Two and two. this one is powered to left center field. Ensley giving chase. She'll look up. It's gone! A Macy mash to left center field. Her 5th of the season. And the lead is cut to 2.
Such patience. Gets in a hole, 0-2 count. Takes 2 pitchers' pitches to find what she can stroke. And this is the deepest part of this ballpark. It was a matter of time. And this is the Centron we know. Right, Matt? I mean, so much power, that high leg kick, the front of the stance. Beautiful stroke there.
14 home runs last year, 2nd most by a freshman in program history. That's her 5th of her sophomore campaign, and yes, that is something that Clemson does as Collins comes to the plate.
Take it to the bank, baby.
That's what they do.
All the way.
Go to the ATM machine. Collins trying to keep it going. Ground ball to second, though. Shelton up with it. And that's 1 out. Saw them with that cash there in the dugout. They have the attack the moment ATM mantra this year, as that one is gloved by the second baseman. Shelton again. But attack the moment, so to embrace that theme, they celebrate home runs and top plays by cashing in the dugout's ATM machine. They sign their name to a fake $100 bill and deposit it into the machine. So Citron did that for the 5th time this season. But 2 outs now in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Sarah Bro, their last chance. Oh, 2 now. South Carolina. Losers of 10 of their last 12. Trying to put the finishing touches and even up the Palmetto series for the 3rd straight year.
Small miss in the river there for Hurd. Great pitcher's pitch. Competitive location and a great take from Bro.
The 1-2 to Bro. Just 3 hits allowed from Hurd. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Bro skies this one, giving chase. Rhodey near the fence, near the net, and makes the catch. And South Carolina gets the win over their in-state rival, and maybe this gets the Gamecocks back on track.
Heck of a performance. 7 innings from Jory Hurd. Hard fought. Bought herself and her offense some time to figure some things out at the plate, and 3 runs was enough to get it done. A late heroic swing there. The end of the game from Centron, but not enough. Pivotal point in the season for both of these teams. They're going to have to figure some things out offensively in order to make a late run.
Well, South Carolina's at Missouri this weekend. A huge series upcoming. Hurd picks up the win. Clemson drops the midweek. They've got Virginia here at home beginning on Friday. We take it to all ACC. Jason and Alex with it. Take it away.